Hello, 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 hello. Let's play Did Ryan Forget Anything? I don't think so. Everything seems good to me. A Tuesday stream, what madness is this? Yes. So yeah, I think this is like one of the first time we've done like a non-Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream. I was supposed to build yesterday, but something came up that kind of messed me up. And so I really didn't want the customer to have to wait too much longer for it to get built. So I was like, there's no reason not to stream on Tuesday. And so, yes, we are here now. And I'm going to be building this Griffin. And actually, yeah, without much further ado, I can't really think of too much else. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get right into it. So this will be interesting. Now I'm actually going to be kind of, we'll see how this is different from last stream. Hopefully much faster. This also isn't anything too crazy. Ooh, beefy machine, yeah. So actually, yeah, that is something to mention. So this is actually, I put in the tweet and stuff, I think maybe even in the title, that this is like a consultation build, more or less. And that is true. So this is actually here. So actually, another thing that I wanted to do is let me actually check because I just realized. I just realized it says 3 fans, but I think when I was looking at things, it would be 4 fans. That's why I keep on Googling Griffin, like it's gonna show up. Oh wait, actually we're not that far down. Hell yeah. For some reason, putting in like Griffin Phoenix without Phoenix PC does not do very well either. But let's see. Yeah, so it should be 4. Yeah, we got the 3 in the front, 1 in the back. Okay. So that is wrong. Let me fix that. And I'm hoping, so this will be, actually, I think this will be, I think this, no. I think I have built the Griffin before. If I have, it's been only like one, maybe. I have not built many Griffins. Which is kind of funny because I feel like it's either been ITX, a Harpy, or a Wyvern. So it's either the like big ones or the small ones. Although I guess I have built Siren too, a couple of those. But anyways, what I was trying to say, sorry I keep on getting so off track. What I was trying to say is that this was kind of a consultation. And this is actually a gift for a family member. So the customer, if they are in chat today, is not the person who will be using the computer. And if the person who's going to be using this computer does watch this, it will be in the VOD. So hello. It was very nice working with the family member. Got you the PC. And I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. So, it's a little bit interesting. Not quite, not quite, or a little bit different in the sense that we know that the person who's going to be actually using the computer not going to be in chat today 100%. We should probably do that the other way around, but So yeah, we need 4 fans, and I already knocked. Squeeze me? Sorry, some of this stuff we had tested out as kind of like early prototype stuff. And I know some people don't like the sound of that, but literally pretty much no use, like lifetime diminished on this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That is not quite the right number, but that is okay. That is double the amount of fan screws that are needed. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, this is definitely going to be a lot of firsts for me today. First time. No, wait, is this the first time of me doing Liquid Freezer 3? I'm not sure. It might. I think it might be. Got a clock implanted in my brain. I've been having second thoughts ever since. Oh man. What's up, C-Playa? Okay, so this is why am I looking there? It'll, don't worry if you're worried that maybe I knocked the rust off, it would be less sketchy today. No, it's not the case. Okay. So you are Urgaba, and you're the fan power. Interesting. Getting acquainted with these fans was definitely my first time using these Arctic P12s, right? Yeah, Arctic P12, ARGB. Cool. I'm a little confused by this, but no biggie. I'm guessing it's meant to be like these, like, you know, daisy chain along. That doesn't make too much. I don't know why it's separate like that, but maybe it'll come more apparent once I install them. But yeah, so I think I started saying it and then completely got off track. But for sure, this is the first time I've done a build in this new H7 flow, the new revision of the H7 flow. I was actually thinking about putting in the parts list something like along the lines of, you know, like H7 flow 2024 or something like that. I think that's right. Time is weird and an illusion, not real. Actually, I'm gonna just back there. A friend of mine keeps trying to paint black and white stripes on my back. I wish he'd stop badgering me. C-Playa. You're a joy to have around. Okay. So yeah, any kind of rust that got knocked off last time is going to get replaced with me having to learn how to use some of these things. So what do we got here? Okay, so that's the, yeah. So we're actually not going to be using that. And we actually will be using the AMD mounting, which is right here. Got some thermal paste, some other doodads. That's not important for right now. Man, okay, this okay, I had no clue that it was like this. Oh boy, okay. This is exactly like I said, a new experience for this. So we've got fan and pump, the VRM fan, and then the RGB. So one or two cables there. Okay. And then we've got the, trying really hard not to kind of compromise anything. We've got fans already on the radiator. That is one cool thing about, so actually I don't really need to do anything quite yet. Gently, yeah, I'm gonna gently do that. Is there anything else I need out of here? I don't think so. I'm gonna just try and, nope, it's a bad idea. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the box. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but yeah, I was actually talking to a friend the other day about, like, there's a lot of weird things that we notice and care about that 99% of people aren't going to run into just because of the fact that we build, you know, multiple PCs often, as opposed to building like one every few years or something. And also the fact of like shipping things out. Yeah, let me take a second to see how this was done, so essentially replicate it. Okay, so for some reason we have like Griffyn after Griffyn. It's just all Griffins heading into the future. Wait, actually, hold up. How does this? Okay, yeah, okay. I think I knew this, and I'm just now remembering. Yeah, something that's really cool is there's no way you're going to be able to see this on camera. Maybe if we were a bit better with video and stuff. But basically, right here, you can see there's two cables that go into the why am I thinking pipe? It's not pipe. Tube into the tubes, or this tube specifically runs along up to here, and actually I'm not sure, but it might actually be coming out here. Or yeah, no, I think it is. This is very interesting. Sorry, I'm just getting a feel for this cooler. Oh, this should go in there. This too. Yeah, I feel pretty I mean, it says OJ 1700 and 1851, so pretty sure that's not going in there. And we definitely need this. But actually, yeah, so I think what Pat has done here is just kind of get things kind of weaved in here in a cool way and make sure that they're daisy chained. Which actually, what's the length on these? Okay, so this one's going off this way. That's okay. Okay. I think there's like a 0% chance of me faithfully recreating that, but that'll be interesting to try out for next build. I will take the time saves where I can get them for today since it started a bit late. Yeah, last week on Monday when we built, it was actually pretty darn cool how many people we got to come hang out. So, we wanted to try starting streaming a little bit later in the day, especially because it'll be nice. It'll be a little bit of a transition of, there's a very high chance that we'll be, oh, there's a extra oh, that's a non-RGB. There's a very good chance that we'll be streaming even later than this in the future. So it'll be, hopefully it'll be a nice little bit of a transition maybe of kind of getting used to that. Oh. Well. Look who the cat dragged in. It's Trashy. Hey, Trashy. That's a thick radiator? Yes, it is. That is actually one of the reasons that the Liquid Freezer 3 is a good cooler, is because, well, what do you do whenever you want your cooler to cool more? You just give it more surface area to cool off better. So thicker radiator helps. That does limit it for some builds because this could be wrong. I'm gonna try and do it off the dome, but I'm pretty confident that standard fan height is 25 millimeters, and then I think that actually most coolers are also 25 millimeters ish, and then this one is 35. That sounds right to me. Actually, can I I don't know where the measuring tape is. It's not that important, but there it is. I'm just curious if that's even close to right. Does this have, I don't think this has metric. Well, okay, never mind. But yeah, take that with a grain of salt, but I think that's kind of the general idea. Red shirt guy is at it again, yeah. Rust Builder 2044, hello, welcome in, what's up? Good to see you. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if I annoyed anyone with the holiday stuff, but it is in fact after Cyber Monday, so the sale has ended. Is usually where things start to kind of slow down a little bit, unfortunately. But if anyone is interested, or you know anyone interested, let them know. They can email us at any time. Okay, Trashy, this looks like a Peely, but doesn't feel like a Peely. Maybe? Sometimes it's hard to tell if something's a Peely or if you're just like damaging it. Goodness, this is on, like, this looks, I'm more confident now this is a Peely, but really on there. Hey, I finally gave in. Hello. Peelies, let me get in there and pick at it. Okay, so I got it started, but man, it was really on there. Ooh, there you go. You know, since we haven't had wells in a while, we haven't got anyone talking about the smell in a while, and The smells are impeccable, I do gotta say. That's a good peely. The only thing I don't appreciate is how difficult it was to tell that it was a peely. Okay. So this is, yes. Does it smell fresh? It smells very fresh. Like in the tech sort of way, right? Not in the like nature kind of way. Okay, so there goes our... Man, there's really not a ton of length on this bad boy, is there? I mean, I noticed that last time, but... So... I'm not gonna need that. Do Miss Wells telling you to know your place sometimes, only sometimes? Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, funnily enough, we might actually, maybe we can actually get back to that, having us all on stream sometime soon. This UB SATA, and I'm gonna put 2 just in case, actually, and then this is the last CPU. Yes, it is. Cool, cool. Okay, so we have 2 CPU, motherboard, CPU, and SATA. A reunion of the boys for the nostalgia. Yeah, I mean, certainly it might happen, because it would be very nice to get, you know, like 3 people working again. Because man, I don't mind being a one-man rodeo, but it ain't always easy. It's much better when you have, you know, some support. Everyone's working on a little bit of something. Okay, so let's get this stuff opened up. Okay. Ugh. What am I doing? I meant to just do one thing and then I did more than one thing. Yeah, the rust isn't going to be totally gone right away. OMG, it's Elliot. Miss you. You're building a PC. Wait, that's not Elliot, is it? Yeah, no, I'm not Elliot. Goodness, it's not like I never showed up on stream. I do, it is fair though, because I do also miss Elliot, so I understand the feeling. But yeah, no. Hey, you've been busy? I mean, that's fair. I get it. You don't remember faces? Oh boy. Well, that's concerning. A little screw is missing. Not good. Right? Oh wait, no. The little screw is missing. Okay, well that's fine for us, but kind of sucks for the customer. but should be fine. We persevere. Okay. Ooh, I like that. I do like that. That is pretty smooth. Yeah, okay. Sorry, trying to think ahead. That is one thing about being the one-man show, is you can really coordinate everything. So you know what you're going to be doing in the future. Okay. M3 screw. M2 locker. Walker, I don't even know her. Okay, yeah. Pretty confident we're not gonna need any of those things. Get back in there, you. You go there. And we're good. Okay. Warning. Ingestion hazard. Don't eat the button cell battery. Don't do it. I know I saw you looking at it. Okay. So. Let's just get started with this. Oh boy, that's on there. Man. Whoever they had on that, they just really wanted to go above and beyond. Huh. Whoa, that's interesting. Okay. We got double layer thermal pad. I sound like I've never seen that before, but I guess I just wasn't expecting it. Sniffing out more peelies? I'm trying to like look at the most the what is it, the most likely culprits. Usually it's like the IO shield, stuff like that. However, feels weird. Like I feel like I should not. Wait, am I gonna need? No. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I had that much trouble with that. You'll take what you can get, to be honest. Yeah, I was like looking at the IO shield. There's nothing. Normally, like these things would have them on them, but no, those look like, you know, just brushed metal. Might be another like you gotta wait for the GPU kind of thing. Except for I guess that one right there. I should have shown the camera that. My bad. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever really talked about it before, but I'm kind of a stickler for like wanting the customer to get everything. And I know that sounds strange out of context, but what I mean by that is like even missing that one little M.2 screw, like it's no big deal for us because we have like a few of them. We can easily replace that, or we could like find a replacement pretty easily. Why am I trying to take the top off? I already did that. But for the average person, they are not gonna have, you know, the sort of like resources that we do. And because we send all the boxes, right, you would expect for it to be in there. What? Okay. Weird. And like if someone wants to like upgrade and then they move to like a motherboard or something that doesn't have like a nice little lock like that, and then they're missing the screw, then they're more tempted to do something a little bit silly, like, you know, just not bother with securing it down, and that can be a little silly sometimes. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why, but I was just randomly thinking about all the times that we got we had like a streak of bad memory at Redacted. And I was thinking about how we haven't had like bad memory very much for this company. But I know that now that I've said that, I've now cursed us and we're gonna have some problems incoming. Unbox, you're screwed? What? What's happening? You okay? The tech is fighting him today? If you're talking about me, no, not really. It's just the rust of like, also I don't like, I like the look of this RAM, but I don't like the like it's not easy to work with because of the design. But that's okay. That's what the memory mallet is for. Just smack that down in there. Yeah. No, I just needed to do it like one side at a time, I guess. Yeah, it's just like helping my friends out who have, you know, some of them have had like optiplexes or whatever, that type of stuff. Helping them out, it's like, oh, I need to do this thing, and oh, it's just those screws are missing for some reason, and there's no good way to get replacements. That's fun. Okay. So yeah, I'm just... probably read just in case. But I'm like, think I have worked with this before. Actually, now that I think about it. Actually, no, yeah, this is not my first liquid freezer, because I just remembered I did the 280. Suddenly remembering the thermal paste ice cream conversation that have been had. Oh boy. Oh goodness. Yeah. Fun, wacky, weird, and fun times. Favorite memory for RGB is that Corsair Dominator RAM with the dots going down it. Looks gorgeous but costs way too much for what it is. Yeah. Well, cool. Okay. There is no manual in here. Sick. This is another reason why I'm a stickler of people getting everything that comes with it, because they need to do anything. Some people forget that you can just look at the manual online nowadays. So sorry, give me 1 second. Just got the exact same motherboard today. Yeah, we tend to work with the MSI Tomahawk boards. They're pretty good. Yeah, it's it sucks that if you really want to like limit how much like RGB software you have to download if you want to use like the RGB software that comes with it. Sucks that like if you get like an MSI motherboard and then like blah 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 blah, and then it like gets real complicated having like 3 different RGB softwares and they all fight each other. So like I really would like to get like a Asus motherboard and Asus GPU, but with the like really, you know, with the controversy with the warranty stuff, it's like, do I really? It kind of sucks. Okay, let me... Okay. Give me your manual. Give me... Spec sheet manual. Hello? Oh, that's interesting. They don't have like a PDF. Huh, okay. So I do need... Well, I knew I needed these. But... I have this nice little guide. Okay. Oh, I see. That's interesting. Okay. There we go. Yeah, take those off. Wait, okay. I know to put the radiator above the pump. Okay. Ah, okay. I'm now remembering. I think this is why I did it wrong in the past. Yep. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, I think the reason that I hesitated is because I was remembering that I have done this in the past, and I did it wrong because I just put the screws in without actually installing these. That's what I got wrong. Yeah, I guess it might be a little bit more of like an interesting perspective whenever I build, because I've only built around 100 computers rather than like around 1,000 like some of the other guys. I guess it might be more of like a relatable, or like kind of more, here's what not to do type of deal. Okay. I'm just gonna. And I know I kind of talked somewhat extensively last time about, or I guess maybe not that much, but I know last time I kind of talked about the torque setting on the screwdriver, because Pat also does the same thing. He likes to explain like, no, I'm not like blowing up the computer, I'm not damaging it, it's the torque setting on the screwdriver. Because I guess to anyone that doesn't know, it definitely does sound like that, but yeah, working near the socket and stuff. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm getting carried away being an absolute fool. What am I doing? Probably maybe get the CPU in there. Yeah, I was just gonna say I set it to like the absolute lowest setting. You want to be careful whenever you're working around the socket and stuff. Don't want to crack the PCB or anything like that. Okay. That's right. Come on. I was just thinking about how there's always an indication for how it should go in there, even though they always go in the same way. You gotta check yourself sometimes. And it took me a second to find the indication for that. Okay. Now I can proceed. Actually stays on there pretty good. Yeah, I'm actually I'm actually really remembering now doing that 280 of like the cool thing about the liquid freezers is like once you got this like bracket stuff down, it kind of just you're pretty much done. It's a pretty easy install after you get the stuff on there. Man. Come on. Okay, let me just double check this. Cool. Okay. So we're all good on that front. Put that there. What is this for? Maybe it's for the Intel stuff. Okay. Yeah, I believe that like I think the screws are on there. You just put it on and then pretty straightforward. Okay. So without more dilly-dallying. Okay, and then now the moment of truth. Since I haven't really worked with these new H7 flows, I have no idea if they've strengthened the foam at all or made it better. It looked better, but taking that part out does not inspire huge confidence. Or no, actually, do this. Okay. Anything I can do to not have to worry so much about snapping foams, the plus. I'm not sure how much those little inserts add value. I'll be completely honest, but I don't hate it. I guess the real test is, are these cracked right now? Because Pat, like I said, has worked with this. So the fact that they're not cracked actually kind of good sign. And you can actually see on full display like interesting foot business. Okay, that sounds weird. Use your words. You can see the... Oh, actually, I guess you guys can't see anything. The... Oh, wait, actually, yeah, let me get it out of here real quick. Okay, the foams do seem a little bit better. I'm still skeptical, but I think we're heading in the right direction. So, what I was talking about is this. This is the bottom, and I find it somewhat disturbing. And maybe disturbing is a strong word. I don't know. It feels off-putting to me. Of like, it's closed off on 3 sides, but the 4th one, I mean, it's nice for airflow, and there's plenty of clearance, so it will work. I mean, if it had like really poor airflow here, we might switch to a different case or not allow fans down there necessarily. So it's not a question of like function, but it's just so off-putting to me. I guess it does make it more stable. That is a bonus. But that's just a weird kind of random personal opinion. Really. Now I know that Pat, I think, and Wells too, they both really like working in the H7 flow because the routing is really good. And like I said, it's not like I've never worked with the H7 before, but it'll be good to get a refresher on kind of what they mean by that. Interesting. Like a shard of glass or something in there. Weird. Oh, that's interesting. It actually feels a little like spacious. Interesting. Okay. Who are you? Oh, the front fans? Yeah, wait, are these NZXT ones or the... Yeah, these are the NZXT ones. Okay. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I just wanted to get a quick like look over. Probably, well, no, because the Arctica daisy chains, there's no need. Okay, I do kind of like these straps. Place controller here, interesting. Yeah, funnily enough, I don't think we'll super need it for this one, but oh, I'm now realizing something about the cooler. Okay, but I'll stop getting distracted. Let's get the motherboard in here, and also definitely feels a lot lighter than the 011. Man, the 011 is very sturdy. Very sturdy. Why I was really concerned whenever we got a we saw that one had been damaged in the mail, like coming back to us to be repaired, not going out. And also it wasn't packed to our standards. It was a kind of extenuating circumstances type of deal. But so I was like surprised at like how much force would it have taken to damage an 011, because those things are just so sturdy. I mean, it's a lot of weight being thrown around, so it's a lot of energy, obviously, but still though, Goodness. Feels like you got to be trying almost. Because those things are kind of like tanks. Almost feels like sometimes. Oh, that's right. I think NZXC has the guide. Yeah. That is another thing that I do actually really like about the H7. Ooh, okay. No. Okay, that's what I was trying not to do. I need 8. Is that right? Are these really the motherboard screws? I would assume so, but they don't look quite right. I guess one really easy way to tell. I feel a little bit small, but huh. Oh, okay. Guess let me do that. Real quick, I just want to see what some of these other ones are. Flathead CB5. My favorite. What else we got? Hexagon. Love those guys. Ooh, standoff and standoff wrench. Not sure why there's only one standoff, but I do appreciate the standoff wrench. Some more KB5s, but smaller. Oh, and actually, okay. Screw M3, screw 2, or screw 632, 5mm. Okay, so here's probably why there's more than you probably normally use. It was open. Okay. Anyone have any kind of interesting things happening in tech they're interested in or video games? Because I think I saw recently someone talking about like a new Valve headset, and it's funny because I feel like I've been talking about VR stuff, which I think I don't even need to say that because it wasn't that long ago that I think I talked about it on stream. And then it kind of like slipped my mind because I hadn't heard anything in a while, but there really has been like no talk about like the upcoming Switch, the new console from Nintendo. Why are you not? Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Hmm. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I never really noticed how recessed this like motherboard tray is. Kind of interesting. I guess I saw one way that it makes the cables look nice. Your 4070 Ti Super is obsolete. Okay. In what way? Also, hello, welcome in. We're Phoenix PC. We're a company that builds computers for our customers. I'm not building this for myself, although I guess technically I did build this, like design this, because consulted with the customer. So I'm curious to hear how the 4070 Ti Super is obsolete. It can't play the new games that use Unreal Game, not even at 1440p. I just don't think that's true, actually. The 4070 Ti Super is a pretty good. Yeah, Unreal 5. I mean, I don't know if that's. I'd have to check because I don't know, but I have a hard time believing that of all the games. First of all, are there even that many games out for Unreal 5 yet? Is it not pretty new? And additionally, it feels like of all the games made, there's no way it can't play any of them at 1440p. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like some really unoptimized games, because that happens a lot. But about 6 games that use it. I'm guessing they're like quadruple A, not very well optimized. I'm sure there will be more and more games published using Unreal 5, but there's going to be plenty and plenty of games that aren't going to use it, and not all of them I think will. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time. Again, it's something that I would need to look into, but the new Cyberpunk game will use Unreal 5. Yeah, I just it's also for this customer, I don't think that the priority will be playing the newest games at max settings on super high resolution, but even then I still think the 4070 Ti Super should serve pretty well for a while. Okay. Do I want to go ahead and try and do the fan? Probably. That worked out pretty well the other day. Although, actually, what am I saying? What I did the other day was get some of like the motherboard stuff done. Actually, I think I will try and do some of that. I'm out, or are you captive? I'm captive. Me. That. Do. Goes for the Radeon 7000 Series 2. I don't think so. I don't think the new 50 series will be able to play Unreal 5 either. Yeah, I haven't seen any benchmarks yet, so I definitely could be wrong. But if the 50 series can't do it either, then wouldn't that mean that the 40 series isn't necessarily obsolete? It's not like unable to do something that the 50 series can. We try and build for all, all types of customers. We don't want to just focus on following some of the hype that people build up that sometimes is a little bit doesn't follow practical thinking sometimes. Because although there were some intentional choices to go above and beyond on this build, I was still trying to save the customer as much more money as could. In my opinion, for what was told would be like the use case, this was going to be just fine. It's going to be a little bit more than enough, actually. No way the 50 can't? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there will be some like crazy games that will be released that aren't well optimized and it's gonna be hard to get it. But like 1440p is also not nearly. I mean, it's more intense than 1080, of course, but it's not anything too crazy either. The 4080 Super could barely play Stalker 2 at 60 FPS with 1440p. Yeah, but from what I saw, Stalker 2 may not be the best example. Kind of what I'm talking about of like unoptimized games stuff. On the upside, the 4070 Ti Super can play lots of games at 4K, just not Unreal 5. Yeah. I'm sure that as time goes on, games will either get released shittily and then updated in order to come on, will get updated to be a little bit more optimized, or there'll be more games out on Unreal 5. There'll be more experience with it, so hopefully they'll be a little bit better. The future of PC gaming is not looking even on console too. Not looking good. I don't know if that's, I mean, I think that I think there's a lot of room for argument there. Okay, let me just turn this up. Goodness. Um, 1440p is the sweet spot, in your opinion. You get a nice resolution and can still push the FPS without spending an entire PC worth of budget for just the GPU. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Man, imagine only putting in 4 fans and not 9. Okay. We're gonna be better about fan direction today. So I believe that should be good. What am I doing? This. That is kind of the nice thing is I'm only gonna get better with the more rust I knock off. You like the H7 Flow case? It's really nice. Yeah, there is a lot of things to like here. I still just like my personal opinion. I'm not like a huge fan of like the aesthetics of NZXT. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think I think the features that the case offers is pretty nice. I'm just a big old Lian Li fanboy though. Because a lot of the times the Lian Li cases are just so like feature rich, crazy. But obviously that's not to say that there aren't plenty of other like good cases out there that just don't have as many features, which is very fair because, like I said, it's crazy the amount of features in some of the Lian Li cases. Yeah, we'll see once I get closer to the end how I feel about it. Wanted to buy that last year, but it was sold out. Went with the Fantex G500A instead. I don't have experience with that one, but I think that's a good one. Had a PC built, shipped today, arrives Friday. Oh, were you are you mean you're one of our customers? Are you gosh, why am I blanking on the username? The one that I built last Monday. You have a Lian Li case, but didn't like it very much. Think I prefer Corsair Fantex. Out of curiosity, which one? Okay. And goes in there. And we're all good. And now there's the whole NZXT drama. Yeah. Crazy. The Meshify C. Oh, wait, yeah. I'd have to refresh myself on if that's the one that I'm thinking of. Very niche case. If it's the one I'm thinking of. Hello, is this monitor worth it or not? Because I'm a beginner and don't know much about it, but I would like to get into gaming. Thank you. Yeah, Docs Games. First of all, welcome in. Thanks for joining. And if you posted a link, it doesn't look like it, but we don't allow links just for safety. But if you really want to drop a link, you can drop it in our Discord. You can use !Discord and it'll bring up a link to our Discord server. Or if you want to just type in the name of the monitor that you're talking about, I'd be more than happy to take a look at it. I'm not a huge expert in monitors though, so maybe if there's someone in chat that maybe knows a little bit more about monitors than I do. MSI Pro MP341CQ Ekran Vertique Curve Curve. It's like, okay, yeah. This is I think this is a different language. But 34-inch ultra wide QHD 1440p 100 hertz. Yeah, some of the stuff is I'm not too sure about like what's good and what's not. But I will say that I think one thing that kind of most people look at is the like what type it is, like what type of panel it is. Yeah, I'm not too sure about like the color, the sRGB 116%. I'm not sure how that compares and stuff like that. Lian Li Lancol 2 Mesh C RGB Snow White. Okay, so that's very different from the Meshify C. But I think there is like they recently came out with like a really off the wall case. Not a customer, just showed up in your YouTube feed. Okay, gotcha. We had a customer with the K in the name, so I didn't know if that was that, because I also just shipped out a computer today. So I was not sure if you just so happened to be the customer. Okay. Come on. looking good. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I really would like to know why the wires don't come out of the same place. I still have not. I thought maybe once I start working with them I'd get it, but I kind of don't. Go. Right on. What's the cost of the build you're assembling currently? Yeah, we don't like to give out kind of like, we consider that customer information. We don't really like to give out customer information. But if you are curious, you can go to our website, phoenixpcs.com, with an S, and then you can actually you can use the parts on screen, and you can put those in, and that'll give you a better quote anyhow. But or if you like to, I mean, you just bought a computer, so I'm guessing you're not thinking of buying another one. But from what you said, so if you really want to, you can just kind of like look on our website and just put in kind of what you got and compare. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the price is probably going to be very different, just because we do things differently than some of other like companies similar to ours. Like one of the main things I would say is that we tend to like roll all the pricing into one. So as opposed to like, oh, $50 for X, Y, is like for, you know, labor or whatever, we just kind of roll that into the price. We also feel like our warranty, like we're not gonna build a PC and then not offer the warranty. So the warranty is baked into the price. So that's one big way that kind of we tend to get prices different from other people. And additionally, we also are pretty small. So like, as you can tell, it may not look like your typical warehouse, because it is not. And so that makes things a little bit different. But we try and make it worth it, because we try and make it worth it by offering really good customer service and kind of a more personal experience. H9 Flow or Lean Lee 011. You just bought the H9 but might return. Yeah, they're it's kind of more of a personal preference thing, I would say. The fact that you're considering returning it though might be a little bit of an indicator that maybe it's not a good fit for you. The H9 is not a bad case in any way, shape, or form. We've built with it before, and if we didn't recommend it, we wouldn't build with it. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I feel like the 011 has a lot of really, really cool features that just make building and owning it a lot, you know, the quality of life is a little bit better. There was a mention that the built-in speakers aren't that great, so keep in mind if you're counting on it to provide sound, make sure your computer system can handle that resolution too. Yeah, some good advice. And I don't think we'll need this actually, because we have the daisy chaining. Yep. And we actually let everything loose. Get started plugging stuff in. There's a USB. There's E. Oh wow, that's pretty long actually. I don't know if that's a blessing or be a little bit of a curse. Cool, we do have a solid front panel. You love to see that. And audio, yep. Put that there. Yeah, out of curiosity, why do you think you might want to return the H9? Then I might really be able to give you a bit more detailed of an answer of whether you would like the 11 better. Oh, did he? Makes sense. Is pretty nice. Kind of interesting that the USB-C is all the way up here, and yet the 3.0 is down at the bottom. Usually they're kind of close together. Also interesting that they went for the like rotated USB-C, and yet, or the rotated USB 3.0, but the USB-C is not. Okay, and actually I'm going to, why did I do that? The Joyo cable management. Just kidding. No one, everyone knows there's no joy in cable management. Nah. I think that there's a lot of like skills and techniques and like little things you can do that most people aren't gonna know or care to know whenever they're just building a computer for themselves every once in a while. But like, I mean, part of the reason we offer like, we try and have cable management be kind of sort of like one of our selling points is that it's really like once you, like I said, get those kind of like skills and stuff down, it's really not that hard to have good cable management once you kind of know those things. Which like, there's so many improvements making things better anyways. Because like, I mean, even for example, like this this front panel connector that I already plugged in. Why are you? This front panel connection that I already plugged in. Nowadays, all the cases are starting to like have it just be one whole unit that you just plugged in, and it's a very small difference in terms of cable management, but it does help. But more importantly, there's like daisy chaining, like these fans. It's gonna be a cinch to get them plugged in. Dude, what is happening? Yeah. I think this like plastic is a little bit messed up. I don't think that's interfering. Maybe it is. Yes, it was. Okay, does that mean I'm gonna have issue plugging this back in? No. Weird. Okay. Okay, wait. So actually, oh, there's no drive bay. Or no, that wait, there sort of is. What is that? Whoa. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Kind of funny it took me that long to notice. OMG, I'm catching live. Hey, what's up, Crystal? Good to see you. Yeah, I was supposed to build yesterday, but had something come up, so building today instead. How am I? It's a little bit of a weird, crazy, hectic time of year, isn't it? But I feel like I'm getting better. Feeling a bit better. I think I'll feel a little bit better once a few more kind of puzzle pieces fall into place and we get into kind of the January part of the year. Hmm. Oh yes. Easy. That was pretty easy. Okay. Doing all right, making some big life changes soon, so anxious, but feel like I have a chance to be happy again. recommend y'all to a coworker the other day looking into getting a new PC. Heck yeah, well, yeah, a few days ago would have been a little bit more ideal because if they could have been taking advantage of our Black Friday sale, but not the end of the world. Uh, and hey, they can use your code too. But yeah, no, I definitely feel you there because I feel like that also kind of sort of describes me as well. Of like, uh, gotta have just kind of have like a few big like life things that I'm worried about right now. And once I get those figured out, probably be in a much better place. Okay, and I'm now realizing I didn't use any of the screws because I just used the ones included. Oh, figure out what to do with that bad boy. So, do I want a bit awkward? Maybe I want that. Probably want that. But no, it's maybe like that. I think I want that. Yeah, I was kind of debating on whether to talk about this on stream. Actually, you know what? I think I've just now in this moment made the decision that this would be better to put in the Discord. But we've had I'll say this, we've had some weird junk orders, and it almost seems like there's one person who's like directing a bunch of people to place junk orders with us, and very odd. I'm not sure if that's like tinfoil hat type stuff, but just is very odd that we've had someone figure out like some sort of junk thing, and then it's just been happening a ton. I mean, in all likelihood, it's probably like all the same person, but I haven't had a chance to check yet. Charge a service fee for canceled orders, 15%. That'll stop. No, so we do have a policy where if you cancel within, please go read the website because I could be wrong because it's been a while since we decided this, so I could get the details wrong. But we do have like there's some period of time where you can cancel for free, and then or there's like a period of time where you can cancel for free, and then there's like a period of time where you can cancel and not have to pay like the restocking fee or something. But then there's like, and then you have like the service charge fee, and then after a certain period of time, because like basically if it gets to the point where we're about to build your computer and like we have everything ready to go, it'd be it's kind of ridiculous to, especially with how small we are. We don't have like the luxury of being able to like turn parts around very easily, so we kind of have to like just ship them. We have to kind of return them, and there's like costs associated with that and stuff. But what I mean is there's like there's some sort of like these people are ordering $0 orders, and thankfully it's not charging us for like, you know, credit card processing for those orders. But yeah, I thought I fixed it, but we had one today, or no, we had like two today, and the first one I was like, oh, maybe they just still had stuff in their cart, It might be Star-Lord trolling you guys. No comment. No comment. I don't think so, though. Yeah, I don't think so. Could be, but let's hope not. No, I don't think. I don't even. Yeah, I don't know anything about that person at this point, and I don't want to. Best to keep it that way. And I hope that they don't know about us, to be honest. It'd probably make things easier that way. Okay, so we've got all the fans in, and because Arctic has the nice daisy chain stuff, so actually I need fan pump CPU and RGB. So we have pump fan, this fan. Oh, we have CPU fan. Okay. We don't have like an opt. That's fine. That's covered there. And then a 4-pin RGB. Yeah, it is. We have 3-pin there, so that should be fine. We have fan there. And what? No, wait, hold on. Is there only one? No, okay, there it is. There's the second RGB. Okay, so I think I want to try and get RGB and fan down here. Although, yeah, well, I guess we'll see. Okay. Have you checked with the cart support system to if they know how it's getting through? No, I don't think that they would know anything. Like let's just say the e-commerce platform. I don't think that they would know anything because I think okay. I know for a fact that what's allowing these things is our new customization options. And that is done through a like third-party thing. And we could try and reach out to the third-party thing for some support, but I don't think that that would be super productive actually, because I don't think this is like anything on their end either, honestly. I think it's just like we need to figure it out a little bit. Let me actually go ahead and plug this. Nope. See, the fun thing is actually no. Okay, I've done this backwards. Let's go. Yeah, that is kind of the funny thing. I haven't done a ton of daisy chaining, builds quite yet. So this because like the land cool kind of has like that daisy chaining stuff, but it's like pretty much just a done deal. It's like all taken care of. Um, for you. Probably have to set it so there has to be an assigned value for each field. No, that's not it either. Like, I probably should just talk. Well, okay, my fear is that if I talk about it on stream, more people will do it. And thankfully, we haven't had anything bad happen. But I think if I poke the bear, I think bad things can happen. So I don't really want to test it, you know. But it would be a good idea to get some outside ideas on, you know, any ideas people might have on how the heck to fix it, or to know if it's fixed and it's like a bad actor that had a bunch of stuff in carts already and it's gonna stop, or what. But yeah, I'll probably drop something in the Discord after stream to kind of get people's input on it. So just keep an eye out after stream if you're interested in whatever I'm talking about. Yeah. Right now it's like, okay, haha, you got us. Please stop. But I think it does have the potential to be like, okay, no, we need to get this fixed. No. I probably shouldn't be putting this much effort in when I'm gonna need to do the fan, but probably just gonna need to do that right back. But okay, so we're, yeah, I feel a bit weird about separating the fans and the RGB so much, but I think it might be better if I just run the fans up here towards the top of the board. Well, I could come down here in a little bit of an awkward space. Yeah, I think I will come up here with it. Um, if they're testing limits, you have to hope they don't find a more malicious use for it. Well, that's the thing is, this, like, I don't know, it's so weird because it feels so intentional, but if they wanted to, like, hurt us, they very easily could, and I don't think it's lost on them. But I don't know. It's so weird. It's really a little bit bizarre. I don't understand. How many of those Arctic RGB fans can you chain together on the same ARGB header? Ooh, I don't know the exact number. I think there'd be a little bit of math involved there. But basically, you're just limited by like current and stuff like that. Because like I don't want to try and tell the whole like long drawn out story, but kind of the TLDR version of it is that in my own personal computer, I had daisy chained a ton of fans together and it actually worked, but I couldn't make them all white because then it started triggering the overcurrent protection of like, okay, this is too much current is flowing through the wire to be able to do all these fans. So you need to quit it. So basically that's your limit. I don't know how many fans that is. I'm sure there's probably some sort of like resource that Arctic has that tells you what they would recommend or something, but I don't know that number off the top of my head. Yeah, it's basically however many you can do before you start running up against, am I pumping too much current? Essentially. I think 3 should be like more than fine though. Because I mean, they come in a 3-pack. I think they probably reasonably assume that you'll daisy chain 3 together. Oh, and to clarify how many fans I had whenever I started triggering the overcurrent protection, and you have to keep in mind that, right, like pure white is going to be all LEDs on all fans at max brightness. And that was for 9 fans. And it was still fine just as long as I didn't do white. So if that gives you any sort of like indication. Okay. So that's like, I'm gonna need to plug in oh wait, actually I may have slightly goofed a little bit. Okay. Fine. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do... Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go for... Wells and Pat always put the PWM. They route it through the motherboard, like through the heatsink. I've never been able to do this. So let's see if I can pull it off for the first time. Yeah, see, like, it's blocked. It's completely... Well, I guess there's that. Okay, I guess I'm doing it. Okay. Okay. World's first. Ryan does the thing. Woohoo. Pat would be so proud. Probably relieved. I know it probably slightly annoying that I'd never do it like this. It is convenient. Now I'm just having a hard time getting this bugger on there. You might be able to do around 6 before you overload it. That sounds like a good number. You said... Alright, I thought I was going to get it. Come on. There we go. Yay! And the world rejoiced. You changed 6 of the cheap Thermalright ARGB fans with no issues before. Yeah, like I think it's a surprise. Like, okay, do you want to be pushing it? No, but if you got to do what you got to do, I think it's a surprising number of fans that you can kind of chain together. Okay, this might be a little bit overkill, but I don't want this to look like Garbo. So close. There we go. That's pretty good, and you can get that off. Okay, problem solved. Now I can do, let's actually do power supply stuff. I can do this power supply stuff and then I can pretty confidently get this cooler on there and get it all wired up pretty easily. Okay. Come on. That actually had a nice snap. Usually the motherboard power is a bit annoying. Never feels like you actually got it on there. Okay. Deepu? Yep. And Deepu. Now, yeah, they're in like, there's no SATA devices in here. I think I am going to put back one of these SATA cables for convenience. Hopefully, if for whatever reason the customer decides to put like something that needs some SATA power besides drives, hopefully they can route it pretty nicely. Okay. Man, I don't like the aesthetics of these cables, but I guess the mechanics of them, they get in there pretty good and they click in. Hey, For the Fox, what's up? How you been doing? Hope you've been doing good. Work was hectic this year. Too many disasters. Yeah. Goodness. Yeah, thank you so much for your work. Okay, and that's that, more or less. And I think I should be able to route these through here pretty easily. One, two. Huh? Oh, come on. That should be fine. Never got to go to NC to see you guys, but then again, that might be a good thing with all the gun threats. Yeah. I don't want to get too much into it because, you know, we try and keep things pretty chill and civil here, and politics is anything but that. But yeah, it's I know people who just wanted to help had to deal with some really terrible stuff. And I think we can all agree that's not a good thing. I hope. Okay, so that's CPU right there, easy as that. So I do okay, one thing I will say that definitely sets the H7 Flow apart for me is the is the cable. The power cables, the routing of the power cables, because it just is very smooth. Like, look how easy it is getting this through here. And this is gonna look really nice once I get this all the way down here. Send a DM on Discord. Hopefully something you can use to halt the $0 orders. Okay, thank you. So I do think that I do think that technically we could like block some of the customers putting in these orders. But that would suck if they ever did want to actually buy a PC, and also it's not an actual solution to the problem, more like a band-aid. Did you see the video, Gamers Nexus video on how NZXT is scamming people or something? I did not watch the video, but yes, I did see the video, and I also read a little bit, I think, about it to kind of get the gist of it. And man, it is crazy. I'm gonna put that on there for just a moment. Heard if you buy a case from NZXT, you have to rent it. Yeah, it makes it awkward, man. Like using parts when these companies do these things, it's like we can't just like if we stopped using a company whenever they had any sort of controversy, we couldn't build PCs, and that sucks. That really sucks. But just crazy. If the case is good, use it. Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, I probably shouldn't like go too much on a tirade about it, but I've already said it this stream, so I might as well say it again. But like with the Asus like warranty stuff, it's like, huh? How do? What the hell? Am I dumb? I feel like I'm trying to put the square peg into the circular hole. Am I actually a child? What is happening here? Okay. That should not have been that difficult for me, but we're here now. Apparently a lot of storefronts have the issue. Oh. If the case is good, use it. Oh, sorry, I already read that message. That's interesting. I wonder if... Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at what you sent me after. It is why you need a stream manager. You need someone just building. And you need some fool to just run their mouth like me. You need someone to be a literal jester and just play a fool. Dude, what the? Huh? What? Okay. A little bit weird. I don't like that too much, but I do like that cases are kind of getting to the point where it's like getting kind of pretty competitive, so that they have to like make some really inventive decisions. Because I know it sounds stupid to say that whenever I'm just talking about the fact that they rotated the power supply, but genuinely, like, that does matter. Actually, am I? Why am I doing the way I'm doing? A good question to ask yourself. Why am I doing things the way I'm doing them? Excuse me? What? Eh? Oh, they did the thing. I hate when they do the thing. Why? Why would you choose to do it like this? Cool. Okay. On longer. Okay. Oh. Quite expensive build you have, sir. Welcome in, first of all. Thanks for joining in. Second of all, yeah, this is a pretty pimped out build. However, we are Phoenix PC. We build computers for our customers, and we actually consulted with a customer on this build to help them pick out the parts for this one. And it was they kind of wanted to I hope I did a good job of explaining that, future proofing is not really a thing, but that was sort of partially the idea behind some of this stuff. They just wanted a really nice gaming computer that'll last a little while, and this will do that for sure, without a doubt. Around 2,500. Yeah, so since this is a customer's order, we don't really like giving out information about our customers, and we consider the price of the build falls under that. But if you don't mind going onto our website, phoenixpcs.com with an S. Oh, actually, I think we got phoenixpc.com. But in any case, yeah, you can just put in the specs that you see on screen, and that'll actually give you a pretty good quote for like if you'd gotten the same thing. If you're curious, I know it's probably a little more effort than you're interested in, but feel free to take a look at that if you'd like. So this little drive bay down here, it's funny because it seems like they've done the opposite of what most cases nowadays have, which is like a hard drive bay down at the bottom and SSDs up at the top. It looks like this is like HDDs up top, and then you can throw some SSDs down here, which is very interesting. Future-proof is a marketing term. Remember when DVDs were future-proof? Yeah, well, okay, so neither me nor the customer said future-proof, but thinking back on it, that was kind of the theme of like, because like I recommended the customer get 32 gigabytes of RAM, and they were like, nah. I actually think I'd like to have the 64, just so it's not even a concern. And they made that decision, fully informed, and that's what we like. That's perfectly fine, right? So I actually don't know the best way to plug that in, so actually I'm going to leave that for now. Yeah, and funnily enough, I think we just need the cooler and then the GPU, and then we're like pretty much done. Don't quite understand the difference between the Harpy and the Raven. Yeah, so the Harpy is focused on budget, pretty much purely on budget. So we want, I mean, we used to, unfortunately things have kind of changed. We had to raise the price on it just with the market and stuff being the way it is. We really wanted that to be like our Costco hot dog of like, we can get you a PC for under $1,000, but unfortunately we had to raise the price to $1,000. But yeah, the Harpy is like, you're getting into PC gaming, or you really just want a computer to do some light stuff, which actually, even saying that, the Harpy is pretty kick-ass. It can do some pretty good gaming as well at 1080p, especially, obviously. But the Raven it was our first foray into customization. So we've worked a lot on our customization over time. This is awkward. I'm not sure which, I know that this is the big camera, but it feels weird to be like, hello. But basically over time, we've worked on our customization a lot. But the Raven was the first attempt at that. And also Raven is exclusively small form factor. So the Harpy is MATX, but you can still use a lot of normal computer parts. But the Raven is exclusively small form factor. Good PC if they want to dabble in video editing and such. I mean, it's a good PC if you want to dabble in anything. Like, it's a good starting point. You're definitely fully informed when you're making your purchase. Thumbs up. Hey, that's what we like to hear. That makes sense. Inflation has been crazy lately. Hopefully things will be better soon. Yeah, it would be nice. Would be very nice. Okay. Cooler time. Cooler time. Be a lot cooler if you did. Okay. Oh, does it ever get annoying? Do I say that too much? Be a lot cooler if you did. Okay. Yeah, we got Mr. Oh, wait. I'm just now using my brain and putting 2 and 2 together. I need the screws. Could go 64 GB, but for my use, there's no point. And still using DDR4, but budget. Yeah, that's why we phased it out, or part of why we phased it out. But again, like you said, for budget, that's why we do still have DDR4 available for the Harpy. Man, after last stream, I'm like second guessing myself whether I want to try and use these washers. I want to, but there's not much clearance. There really isn't. Actually, there's virtually no clearance. Literally that. May actually not. Yeah, I might try. We'll see. I might just do 2 screws and then try and put on the panel. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. 2, 4, 6. Thankfully, these screws are actually flat. I just saw a rounded one. I wonder if that's like, there's 2 sets. So if that's the case, that's actually insane. Legendary. Missing 2. Oh, here they are. Is that actually the case? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Wow, I think so. I think they have 1 flat and 1 rounded set of screws. That's awesome. Very helpful. Okay. Yeah, just for funsies. Or I guess I could. Could just do this. Oh, the washers don't even go with these. Wait, are these gonna... Are these gonna work? Did I maybe pick the wrong screw? Oh wait, there's another flat one. I thought I got the last of them. Oh, okay. No, those are very obviously different screws. Let me make sure that is actually correct screw. Okay, these are not the correct screw at all. Cool. Okay, so I've selectively picked out the ones not to use. But I counted out, that was not including this extra one. Yeah, I think those are actually just fan screws from something else, maybe. Okay, do I still have 12 here? Okay, so that's 2, 4, 10, 11, no! Shouldn't be a big deal. I don't like it, but I'm not seeing any missing. I think for sure these are all flat because they're all laying very flatly on the table. Nothing in here. Look around my feet real quick. Okay, but these are the right ones, correct? They are. Okay. Those are the correct ones. I think I dropped anything. We check the box. No. Okay, that is unfortunate, but not really all that bad. Okay. Would love to go to a DDR5 set, but I need other stuff. Need to fix your bike. About 6 weeks ago. Now car decided to make some unauthorized modifications to my bike and me. Oh no. Hope you're okay. I mean, I know obviously it sucks having, you know, bike messed up, but is this build for you? No, this build is actually not for me. We are Phoenix PC. We build computers for our customers. You can actually go on our website, phoenixpcs.com, check it out. See what this is. Our Griffyn model, kind of meant for like high level like gaming type stuff. Not the top of the line, but close to it. Nothing serious to me, but the bike needs some work, and that's a bicycle, not a motorbike. Yeah. No, it's definitely still sucks. Like I know, you know, one of my friends just like in college got like ran over before class and still just like went to class, and it was terrible. And they did not stop. Oh, so it was like even worse. It was like a hit and run. No. Go check it out. Heck yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, actually. Yeah. Like if it was me, if I was like on a bicycle and I got like ran into, I would be like, I'm going home for the day. I'm done. I'd be freaking out a little bit. I mean, he just got like scuffed, but still, man, crazy. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think these washers are going to make it in, because it looks like it's kind of cutting it just with the rounded heads of these screws. So we're gonna put these back in the bag as well. Okay, I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna need to put stuff back in there later because I did not Need this wrench. Yeah, let me actually this lined up. See, how am I doing on time? 6:30. I started at like 4. 2.5 hours. That's not too bad. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, that's actually pretty good already. Right about there. That good. Not bad. I think for this specifically, it's not going to make much of a difference. You're on your way. Just got back on the bike after a 15-year break from cycling. Once the repairs are done, you'll be back out. Heck yeah, more power to you. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't feel safe enough as like a pedestrian. Much less like on a bike. Man, it's gonna really bother me. I find it really, I literally talked about this earlier. I find it really unprofessional when things are missing. But unfortunately, I don't think there's anything I can really do about it. It's gonna be completely sturdy. Like it's in there. There's no issues at all. So it's not like it's gonna cause any problems, but like I said, I just don't like it. Feels unprofessional to me. But that's okay. Case. Okay. So now, yeah, so I think one of the cool things about this Arctic cooler is I think that all I gotta do is just get the thermal paste on there. Get the thermal paste on there, screw this in, and we're off to the races. Wow, your cable management is way better than yours. Find the area of the case to hide the cables is always just so small. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, this case is actually pretty darn good as far as cable management goes. And I'm seeing that firsthand right now. But yeah, like I said earlier, it does also come down to like knowing techniques and stuff as well. Where did I just? I was under. No. Squeeze me. I literally just had it. Where did I put it? Oh, I found a peely. Hello? Oh, there it is. Do you like the RX 6800? Hoping to get it for Christmas. The upgrade from the 1650 Super. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too knowledgeable about the AMD CPUs. I all I really know is we use the 6600 for our budget computer. So just the 6800, not the 6800X. Yeah, I'd really have to like probably get some other opinions and consult like I'd have to like look at some of this stuff. I definitely can't tell you off the top of my head. But I will say that the 6800, the 6600 is what we used when we wanted to update. We wanted to get a better CPU for our Harpy model, and it used to have the 1650 Super, I'm pretty sure, and we upgraded to the 6600. So the 6800 is going to be better than that, obviously. So very likely you're probably it's definitely going to be a good upgrade. Is it the most optimal upgrade? I'm not sure what I mean to say. What thermal paste do you what thermal paste do you use or are you using? Okay, I'm gonna answer what thermal paste I'm using and the question, what thermal paste do you prefer using? I think maybe you meant to ask one of the two. I am using the thermal paste included with the liquid freezer, the Arctic MX6. As far as what thermal paste I prefer using, if you meant to ask that question, hey, Aimbot Amy, rating with a party of 4. Heck yeah, thank you so much. Welcome in, Raiders. If you don't know about us, we're Phoenix PC. I'm using we. I'm by myself right now, but we do have a few people in the company. Yeah, we're Phoenix PC. We build computers for our customers live on Twitch here, and also on YouTube. Yeah, and if anyone is interested in any sort of computer, you can always email us, do a consultation, and just let us know that you came from Aimbot Amy, and we can give you a discount since Amy's one of our partners. Yeah, okay, so the rest of that, sorry, I was answering Madib's, hope I said that right, question. Yeah, thermal paste is not nearly as important as maybe some people might think, or like maybe make it out to be. The truth is that, okay, that's pretty, oh, that's on there pretty good too. Ooh. The truth is that thermal paste does make a difference, but not like a crazy difference. So I would say whatever you got. Like some people like feel like they have to replace the thermal paste that comes with like liquid coolers. You really don't. You can use it like the pre-applied thermal paste. You can use it just fine. It is no problem at all. No one that has eaten like ice cream. Oh no. you have diamond dust. You hear the new MX6 thermal paste is really good. Yeah, I mean, like, just get like a decent brand, and you're fine. Like, get like Noctua, get Arctic, get Thermal Grizzly or whatever. Honestly, Thermal Grizzly may be kind of overkill for a lot of situations, even. Not to say that they aren't good, definitely. I don't think that's really a question, but yeah. So this I was gonna daisy chain. All right, I'm seeing if I can be a little sneaky, hide these cables a little better. But honestly, I think it might be better if I just go straight this way and then hide it in the back. Let me do that. Okay, let's do CPU fan first. Yeah, actually, I think you kind of probably picked a really good time to raid Amy, because pretty close to finishing this build up. So anyone that sticks around will be able to get to see the turn on relatively soon. You know what? I'd say we've done pretty good today. No real stupid getting the rust off mistakes that I can see. All the fans look good, which, to be fair, I didn't do some of them, since the cooler was already done. Wanting to get a new GPU for 1440p gaming on 360 refresh rate OLED monitors. Which GPU do you believe would maximize my experience? Ooh, that is yeah, 1440p high refresh rate. You'd probably need to go like really high up. Unfortunately, because that's no joke. I almost hesitate saying a specific model just because like I know a little bit about some of like the, you know, like high refresh rate stuff. But I honestly do hesitate a little bit on like, because you've done a good job. You've asked a very good question. Let me just say that. Sometimes people don't give all the details, and it can be a little bit frustrating. But that's okay. But I will say that, like, I don't think it would be like if you asked someone else and they said, like, honestly, maybe even like 4080 Super, I wouldn't blame them, because that is high refresh rate is going to be pretty taxing. Not to mention like 1440p. But it sounds like you have a really good monitor, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I can finally do this. Yeah, if I had to give an answer, I think that'd probably be it. 4080 Super. Just because um definitely maybe see ask some other people as well, or if anyone in chat wants to give their opinion. Um like I said, I just don't want to tell you something and then be wrong because I'm not super familiar with the high refresh stuff. Hey devs, hello, hello. Trying to make this computer last as long as possible. It's 4 years old now, running pretty much as well as it did when it was brand new. Upgraded the fans on the all-in-one high stack pressure fans with a maglev bearing. Use good thermal paste on the block and general longevity maintenance on a regular basis because it blows up. Because if it blows up, you're screwed. Yeah. No, I mean, and there's something to be said about the fact that um, it's very good that you're taking care of your computer like that. I don't want to try and make it sound like you don't need to be doing all that. But to be perfectly honest, in general, computers, the thing that's gonna like probably fail first is just like games getting more advanced, right? Like games kind of getting crazier and crazier in terms of like graphics and uh requirements and stuff like that. But if you're not talking about necessarily gaming, you're talking about just having the computer have a long life, then yes. It's very good that you're taking care of your computer like that. With the budget 4080, if you can wait, then see how the 50 series cards perform next month. Yeah, talking about the person in the YouTube chat. Yeah, I just we have no idea how the 50 series will actually play out, so it can be real interesting whenever we get a new generation of GPUs. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. Pretty much just GPU. And then pretty much done. So I think I'm actually gonna start hacking some of this stuff up. You're an AMD guy, would use for a GPU be the 7900 XTX OC edition, 24 gigabyte GDR6, but that's you. Yeah, that would probably also be a decent option. Like I said, I'm just not super knowledgeable about the specifics of the AMD GPUs, and yeah, high refresh rate is going to be intense. I know I've said that a ton, but that's pretty much all I know. But you're not a AAA gamer. Yeah, the thing is, so I would hope that like, if you want to do 1440p 360 refresh rate, I would imagine that you're likely playing FPS games, because those are the main game type of games that actually players care about that stuff. And the thing about that is, the thing about that is that FPS games usually are not like crazy intense in the same way that sometimes other stuff is. But you have to think about generating just a crazy amount of frames every single second is usually what actually we'll do that is usually what actually causes it to be so intensive. Okay, no, maybe. Okay. Aha. Wow, is that really it? Cool. Okay. Now for the star of the show. Yeah, if you're not big on ray tracing, the AMD GPUs are a good option too. Yeah, they're definitely, if you're wanting to be more cost effective, they seem like the better option. Past the stage of life. Most people play the FPS games at 1080p though, don't they? Yeah, usually they do, because they care about frames more than they care about resolution. Unfortunately, I'm not sure, William Lee, if you're still watching. The person who asked is over on YouTube. Play mostly clicker games these days and watch Twitch. That is absolutely fair. What is this? Ooh. Okay. Okay, optics. Okay. You'll drive into some nice open world AAAs. Swinging around in the Spider-Man games was a blast. Yeah, wandering through Red Dead Redemption 2 is relaxing. Yeah, I have not played any of the new Spider-Man games because I know that they're usually like Sony exclusive, and so I haven't really played any of the newer Spider-Man games. I'm sure that they probably nowadays it's probably a timed exclusive or something, and I could play it, but yeah. So the only Spider-Man game that I've played is some of the older ones. Okay. Just a quick note. Actually, let me get this GPU in here real quick. Oh, I almost said CPU. That. Trashy, not sure if you're around, but probably gonna get some peelies here. I noticed this one earlier. You were a gamer when Doom first came out, talking like the 1993 Doom. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, there's still some good chill games you could play. Gaming's not exclusively restricted to any age necessarily. But I completely understand if you're not feeling it anymore. This peely likes to break and not come off in one piece. I don't think there's a peely on the fans, on the... Goodness. Looks like they're available on Steam with Spider-Man 2 expected to hit at the end of the month. Yeah, I figured. Not that I'm complaining, because I'm kind of glad. Because, like, console exclusives... Like, I'm not gonna, like, bash console exclusives or anything, but... Obviously, it just kind of sucks not being able to play a game you want to play because you don't own every console ever. Yay. Don't do that. Okay, we got 2 slots. I was there for the start of this gaming sleigh ride. Well, yeah. Heck yeah. Missed out on a few games because they're PS5 only. They're slowly working their way over to PC. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the name of the game now, is timed exclusives. Actually, will this even... Guess you could... Oh, actually... Okay, so what I was gonna say is, if the you know, so I said earlier that the customer was a family member ordering this, and the person actually using the computer is gonna be someone different. I was gonna say that I was gonna put this GPU support in the power supply box, which I still will, but I don't think there's actually anywhere that this can be placed to actually support the GPU just because of the style. Unfortunately, the only place it can really be placed is down here. And a little bit of a difference. I don't think it's quite getting there. So, Dad bought you an Atari 2600 or 2600 back in the mid 80s, you believe? Been gaming since? Heck yeah. That's awesome. I think you've said before the first PC you built was a Pentium 2, 266 megahertz. Come a long way? Sure have. Especially with like the fact that we're kind of more normally seeing freaking 10,000 megahertz RAM is insane to me. Yeah, now literally the only thing I have left is to decide how I want this to go. Kinda nice if I could go under. I literally don't need to do this at all, but why not? Ooh, I really got it on there good the first. It's gonna look a lot nicer if I do this. Move. Oh. Oh yeah, I did do that. Okay. A little bit more slack. Cool. And then pull that taut and kind of more or less just shove stuff over here, but I think it's not bad. Okay, and now comes the question of what would be better. Actually, I think come through here would be better. Pretty sure we talked about it before, but I really like how they have the yellow pins for this so that you can, without a doubt, tell it's plugged in properly. Yeah, hair got caught on something. Okay. That looks like a lawnmower to me. Okay. Yeah, I am gonna go ahead. Last time I put on the back panel, which I probably should not have done. Cool, glad that went on there. But I'm not gonna put the back panel on again. I am gonna put the front panel on though. Okay. Cool. Same build you're going for, coming from 5800X and 3060 to get full into 1440p. Ooh. Heck yeah. So let me do a little test turn on before we get the clip. What would be the best setup for gaming at 1440p and streaming? Just to put it in like terms of like on our website, I'd say like lower end would be like a Siren, and then higher end would be like the Griffyn here. I think the important thing would be like, because I think the Siren we start out with the 14400. I'd recommend at least getting like 14600 equivalent, and yeah, 4070 Ti Super is like kind of on the like higher end, but I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on what you want. If you're wanting 1440p max settings for like the newest games, you want one of the new AMD CPUs. Yeah, I'm just saying like I'm just kind of saying in terms of like roughly the like equivalent level. Not very like getting into specifics. Because like for example, like the 9800 X3D would obviously be like a good choice, but unfortunately, like we really want to be offering that on our website, but the availability has just been non-existent. So we haven't been able to offer it yet. Have it. Be anyway. Okay. Taking a while. I can still hear the bubbles. I might need to like shake it. Sounds like there's like some trapped bubbles. I like the features of NVIDIA card better with DLSS and software is better in your opinion. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely like a thing to consider at the end of the day. Like, yes, they are like dummy expensive and stuff like that. But if you're someone who you really think that you're going to use the features, then, you know, as long as you're happy at the end of the day, that's the main thing that matters. Don't remember the full spec of the computer, but it was probably something like a 40 megabyte hard drive, maybe 8 or 16 megabytes of RAM, running at 33 megahertz. Wow, you're old. Yeah, it's just insane the like leaps and bounds that have been made. Yeah, I'd agree with what Coggle said. I think I might want to try and drop this fan just a little bit, but now I'm actually kind of nervous. Well, be a little bit. Probably fine though. I actually incidentally kind of made those front fans a little high. I remember that for next time. Yeah, we're looking good. You're going to be building about Poor computers trying to make a few bucks this time this season, and luckily a bunch of spare PSUs. From money on machine costing 800-ish to build and 225. Is 225 a fair upcharge? I don't know because I don't know. To be honest, that's kind of what we try and that's what we try and offer is we only use brand new parts so that you know that you're not going to get a computer where you're not 100% sure of if the parts have been used before or not. Current build has 10700 and 3070 Ti. New build is coming with a 9800 XVD and 4080 Super. Should be able to run 1440 with the nice graphics. Yes, yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a really, really good build. Okay. Yeah, that is one thing about this case. Pretty freaking tall. I want maybe. I don't think I really did much there. Gone midnight. This old man needs sleep. Not even beauty sleep. Way too late for that. No problem. If you want to stick around for just 1 second, I'm actually just gonna try and get ready for this clip, and then I'm gonna do the official turn on with the clip. If you'd like to stick around for just 1 minute to see that. Okay. Okay, this is order 1346. 3, 2, 1. Heck yeah. Looking good. Yeah, I got front fans. Here's the cooler. A nice liquid freezer 3. The back fan. Front fans from the front. And here's your cables. I routed the power, SATA power down here and the SATA data right here. You can just clip this loose, and if you need to add any drives, it's all ready for you. Those Arctic fans are bright. Yeah, they're really nice. And thank you so much for supporting us. Let your family member who got this for you know that you appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much. See, the funny thing is that I actually gotten pretty good at counting in my head when exactly to do the clip with Patrick, and of course now I'm building. Okay, I said the right number, didn't I? I hope I did. For some reason I feel like I said 1348. You're looking at the Precon Wyvern? Yeah, I mean that's so with the pre-configured builds we kind of went with like what we think the kind of quintessential version of each model would be. Like for the Precon Harpy, it's focused on budget, but for the Precon Wyvern, Wyvern is meant to be big and over the top. So the Precon Wyvern is basically essentially like if you want kind of the biggest, baddest, or if you're like trying to do like streaming and stuff like that, it's like the big beefy PC. Okay, there's the clip in chat. Sup? Hey, hello, hello, welcome in, Ray Jake. Unfortunately, we just finished building. Maybe gonna be raiding soon, but thank you so much for joining in, and at least you get to look at the completed, fully turned on PC. I'm actually going to throw on the panel here real quick. Heck yeah. I think the Titan XP is pretty good graphics card. Oh, what? Did they make a new Titan or something? That's not what the Zotac is called, right? I don't think so. Am I? Okay. Not 7 years old? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, no, I mean I like the I like the EVGA cards, but as we all know, unfortunately, no more EVGA. Okay. Oh. Why are you not muting? Okay. I think we're gonna raid Icarus. I've not raided them in a while. Okay. So yeah, let me think that I think we'll be building soon. Okay, actually, it may be next week that we're going to be building again. But I'm gonna go ahead and start the raid. Everyone, please join in the raid and help support our flock members. Let's go raid them and say hello, help support them. And yeah, we're gonna be building again soonish, but it looks like it might be next week. We'll see. Might potentially be able to do Friday. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. But yeah, should still be able to see you soon. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't think I actually am. So okay, let's go raid Icarus. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in and hanging out. We'll see you next time. Okay, bye bye.